Hello and welcome to Tequila Media Solutions, and in this tutorial I will be taking you through the download and the installation of the Visual Studio Code. The Visual Studio Code is an editor developed by Microsoft for Windows, Linux and Mac OS. In this tutorial I will be taking you through the installation, the download and the installation on the Windows machine. So to download Visual Studio Code, just go and launch the browser that you're using and type in Visual Studio Code and press enter. Then navigate to the first link, which is actually leading to the official Visual Studio Code website. So click on it. Then of course on this site you can learn more about this editor, but for this case we just need to download it. So hit on the download button where it says download for Windows. Okay, and you can see it saying thank you for downloading Visual Studio for Windows. So we should see it immediately on our lower part of the screen where it is downloading. So you can give it a few minutes. So once the download is done, you can see it saying VS Code user setup. So just navigate to where it's installed by clicking on this arrow here, then show in folder. Then of course based on the path you have taken for your downloads, like in mine it's going to downloads, so this is the setup. I can just transfer it to my screen. Let me cut it. So this is the setup, and that is how we download the VS Code for Windows. So the next part is on the installation. So to install the VS Code on your Windows machine, just double click on the setup. Then of course the first part, it pops up the license agreement. So just click I accept the agreement, then say next. Then this is the path, the default path where it will be installed. And you can see it is in the programs directory. So I won't bother to change it, I'll just leave it as it is. Then click next. Then here, if you need to add it on the start menu folder, again this one just leave it as it is. And then here you can decide the options you have. Let's say you can add an option to create an icon on the desktop, which can be a shortcut when you're launching the VS Code anytime you want to use it. So just you can check on this, or you can leave it based on your preference. Then click next. So of course now it is asking you to recheck on this. Then of course I'm okay with that. Then just hit install. So now it's installing, so just give it a few minutes. And maybe I'll pause the video, then resume when it is done. So once it's done, you can see this is the last bit of it. So we already have this box checked. So it means if I hit finish, it will launch Visual Studio Code. So I'll go ahead to click on finish. And this is the Visual Studio Code that we have. So of course, this is just the code that we have. So of course, this is just the default page that begins with it. And I think it's pretty much it. So you can navigate on it. Maybe you can have a new file. And in this file, maybe you can play around with the command palette, which has several commands which you can go through based on the documentation provided on their website. Then of course we have things like extensions. We have a link to the source control. It could be GitHub or the Team Foundation server. Of course, this is the editor manager, which is showing you the files that are saved and maybe the projects that are open. So I think that is it for this tutorial. Thank you very much for your time on this. Please make sure to subscribe to my channel and I'll see you later. Thank you.